I was going to go easy on you, not to hurt your feelings.
You f***ing irritate the shit out of me!
I'm only going to get this one chance. It's just a feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let.
Dimitri!
Mr. Keenan, how you doing?
What's up, baby? How are you?
We're in Boston.
Ah, yes. Good old Beantown. I'm concerned about the Patriots this year. Very concerned. They don't look good. They don't look good. It's been a long time, but they don't look good.
Not my area of expertise. I follow soccer, actually.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, anyways, I'm jealous about the skiing that you've got over there.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it snowed a lot this week, too. So it was good.
Yeah, I'm considering, really, once the quarter ends, popping over to Denver and going up north.
Ah, smart man. I like the way you roll.
All right, so one of two things that I can sell you here. I don't know if you had a chance because I think you're busy, but there's one or two things I can sell you here. One is something that you will need as your business grows. It's an actual product. This is what I sell. Medius. It's basically spend management.
Okay. Or the other one?
The other one is myself for the sales trainer position that you've got, because that is a very clear current need.
Got it. So let's go with the business one.
Okay.
And then let's go with the business one because I to properly gap sell yourself, I think I get personal and I don't want that recorded and put out.
Gotcha.
Okay? Out of fairness to you, right?
Okay.
And I want to be able to answer all your questions and and when it comes to some of the that level, the world doesn't need to see that. So
yeah,
all right,
gotcha.
So we're already recording. I'll edit it to cut out this, so I'm gonna just get a countdown and do an official start.
Yep.
This one is not live, obviously. I just did 2 lives today. I don't want to burn people out. Yep.
Good.
And we'll drop it tomorrow or Thursday. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, peeps, here we go again. Welcome to Gap Selling Keenan. I think this is number 6. I got my boy Dimitri Krazik. Dimitri Krazik. I get it right?
Yep.
Really? Is it really Krazik? How do you say it?
It's Krasik.
Krazik. Damn it. Is
Russian.
that Polish? Is that Poland? Oh, Russian.
Yep.
Damn. I've been to Russia. I love Russia.
If somebody can hear my accent, they're a musician, because I was a little kid when I came over.
No, I don't hear it at all. It's the name, dude. Come on, Dimitri Krazik. I mean, clearly. I mean, hello, duh.
Yep.
So, I mean, I was either going to say Polish or Russian. I wasn't going to go Ukraine for some reason. I don't know. So, anyways, I digress. All right, my brother. You've got 15 minutes to sell me, and then we'll take about 10 minutes to talk about it. If for some reason you're screwing up or whatever, don't be surprised. They'll jump in, try to get you back on track. But like I said, if I need it and you can get me to see it, I'll buy it. So have at it, brother.
Let's roll. Now, I'm going to need you to imagine and fast forward a little bit, because this is a problem that you're going to have.
I'm going to have.
Today it's small.
Okay.
But it's going to grow. And I need to show you the vision, a little bit of where you're going in order to understand that when that problem is going to grow.
Okay.
So I want you to imagine Keenan 2030. You franchised.
Okay.
You've got 30 offices around the country. You've got 2 full campuses with staff, dormitories of salespeople. You've got an e-commerce retail shop where you sell your Keenan apparel, the t-shirts and the hats and, Keenan headphones and all this kind of stuff, with custom branding options for clients that are having you guys come out and do these trainings. And 90% of your books are sold direct to consumer. You don't give 15% to Amazon. You do it yourself, and you've got some publishers, and they put it all together for you, and you send all of this apparel and different things out. And you've outsourced a lot of different parts of your business because you don't want to do all of this legal and graphics and audio visual setup and freight and event setup. So you've got a lot of business partners as well who are doing those things for you, so you can focus on your core business. So now rewind to today. When you look at the financial picture of your business and you try to understand, where am I when it comes to cash flow, to making payroll for my people, given all of my expenses. Where do you see that picture? Is it an Excel spreadsheet? Is it something you sit down? Is it in the QuickBooks? How do you see the financial picture of your business?
In 10 years with a company that big, I have no clue. I mean,
How do you do it today?
QuickBooks.
Okay.
And then I have a bookkeeper and QuickBooks, and that's about all she wrote.
Gotcha. Now,
then I use ADP.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you want to get a picture right now of exactly where you stand when it comes to liabilities, things that you're going to have to pay out at the end of December here, right? Maybe there's some people with little bonuses. Maybe there's some partners, different people, leases, etc. that you've got, different costs. Is there one place where you can go and see a very clear picture of exactly what you're going to need to pay out at the end of the month?
No.
Does that concern you at all?
Not now, but I can absolutely see it being a problem. Good example is bonuses. So we have all these commitments in our offer letters. And if I don't go, I literally yesterday, because I know we hit our goals, everybody's getting bonus, I had to go pull out all the offer letters. Literally, just yesterday, I went and it was my head of operations, and we had to go pull out all the offer letters and say, who do we owe money to and how much do we owe? And had to calculate it all.
You have to go into Excel and punch it all in, hopefully correctly.
Yeah.
So, that's dealing with commissions. So that's an area where what you're doing in accounting terms is called accrual. You're estimating what it might be. Mm-hmm. Now, what will happen when you grow your business and your business partners go from like a few people that, make some apparel for you or do some whatever graphics for you, that are sending you invoices, to a whole bunch of different business partners that are helping you grow your business? You're going to have not only the problem of accrual for commissions, but you're going to have the problem of knowing what businesses do I need to send checks to? Who do I need to pay and how much?
I don't have a problem with that.
Today,
because QuickBooks does a phenomenal job with that. You don't get paid, I don't have an invoice, and the invoice, my bookkeeper does it, so I'm not even sure exactly how, but she's on top of it. Like I'm assuming she runs reports, and it says, hey, this is all the invoices due this month, pay.
Yes. So I'll tell you what your bookkeeper is doing. You can confirm this, but I guarantee it. She gets a bunch of things in your email inbox, or maybe there's a few different email inboxes that people send in invoices to, and hopefully,
yes,
one. Okay, good. And, they go to her, and she, hopefully she's in that day, if she's not sick, et cetera, there's other things not more critical. She will key those things in manually. Now, today that's not a problem, because keying in a couple dozen invoices every month is not a big deal. But keying in 2030, you're going to have thousands of those things, especially if you want to build out some other sources of revenue like I was talking about, and not just have everything sold through other people.
Okay.
You're going to have people like the guys that are printing the books for you, sending you an invoice saying, hey, here's all the line items of stuff that you ordered from me, Keenan. And that bookkeeper of yours is going to be 5 bookkeepers sitting there, matching those things, chasing down salespeople and VPs of marketing that you have in your organization saying, hey, is this approved to pay? And that bureaucracy is going to slow down your business. But more importantly, let's go back to the challenge that you mentioned at the beginning about not having a clear picture of financial cash flow, right? Cash forecasting. What are you going to need at the end of the month? Now, your bookkeeper today types in a couple dozen invoices, right? Do you agree that's probably how she's doing it?
Yeah. I have to. I can't. I don't know that there's any way that people can automatically dump it into QuickBooks. So I'm pretty sure that's how it's done. Mm-hmm.
But if you could automatically take any invoice that comes into your organization, capture all the relevant data on it, apply the correct coding. Is this marketing? Is this my apparel business? Is this my what is this related to? And then it goes into QuickBooks. And then real time, you have a picture of exactly what costs you're going to have to incur at the end of the month and what it's related to, so that you know each of your different projects. Is the recruiting business, is the campus business. Real time, you have a financial picture of what are your costs. Would that have a value for you?
Well, right now we do have a real time, like you said, because we don't have that many invoices. I mean, I don't know how we're paying a month, but we don't have that many. So, yeah, I always got to know, right? I always got to know. So the answer is yes. It'll always have value. Sort of a silly question, right? I never like, will it have value? But okay, it is what it is. Of course it'll have value. I mean, I can't not see where my company, what my liabilities each month are. I can't see that. I mean, I can't not see that and think I'm running my business. Yeah.
So let's say that she's out for a week on vacation today. Mm-hmm. And all those invoices pile up and whatever, different accounting things that relate to how much money you're gonna have to pay out. And in the middle of that week, well, it's the end of your year and you want to analyze what 2019 looked like and then forecast 2020 and make sure you set the goals and the bonuses and everything like that. And you've got a gap of a week where she's away.
Doesn't impact us.
Because the number of
invoices is too small. We're highly profitable. Look, we're a services business. We have look, I get where you're kind of going, but we have no inventory. So It's not like I've got to turn around and buy $1 million of inventory, which means I got to dip into the line of credit or, cash flow. Look, we're a services business, man. And if cash flow gets low, we're in trouble. Like we're in trouble a long time ago, right? So no, that's not a problem. A week is not a problem. And she goes on vacations a lot. We have a policy here that's unlimited vacation as long as you get your shit done. So so she's on vacation a lot. So a week doesn't hurt us.
So I knew that this wasn't the big challenge for you right now because you don't have all these other things that I mentioned at Keenan 2030. But I want you to imagine that.
Okay.
I want you to imagine that you do have stuff in warehousing that you ship out to clients and you get invoices. And if she goes away for a week and you happen to be sitting down thinking, I want to take a look at where I am today, how much money am I going to need next month? How much money am I going to need next year? I want to forecast based on what I have. And well, she's away for a week. So all of those invoices been piling up in inboxes, in that inbox. And I'm going to need to go look through them and type them into an Excel like I do with commissions today, right? Otherwise, my picture is going to be a little blurry. I'm going to have a little bit of a black hole in my knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you see that?
I do, but here's the deal. Sorry. Here's the deal. 10 years is too far out for me right now, right? 10 years is too far out. And I'm sure, by the way, in 10 years, I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of additional solutions that are going to be completely different than what we got today, right? Completely different. So the answer is, look, I like what you're trying to do, right? But it's too far out. It's way too far out. Now with that, though, I'm
going to pivot.
Okay, we're out of time, but okay.
You send invoices to companies.
Yep.
They don't always pay them on time.
Define on time.
You'd like to have it paid in 30 days. They get it to you in 60. You have to chase them. You have to say what's going on with this.
I need to go take a look at what our DSOs are or our average time. But for the most part, I've only had one delinquent account in 10 years, and almost everybody pays within, I would say I'm going to guess everybody pays when they're supposed to, and those who don't usually pay within 15 days. So if it's a 30-day net, most people pay within the 30-day net. A few drift into, what would that be, 37 to 45 days. So it's not a huge problem.
Gotcha. Because what I was going to suggest is, while this isn't a problem for you yet, it is a problem for some of your clients.
So good. So here we go. All right, here's my feedback to you, all right?
Yep.
You clearly understand the space in your thing, but you tell too much. You tell me what my problem is, right? Similar to the guy I just did before. So everything you've told me, I want you to learn how how to turn that into a question, right? So when you said, hey, Keenan, all right, when you said you pivot, is the one I remember the most. You said, listen, I got a quick question. What is your average term? 30 days. Great. What do you think the average length of your customers in paying? Is it all within term or out of term? Well, that's a good point. It's about 45 days. Okay. How has that affected you by what percentage pay in the 45? Which percentage pay in the 30? I would have said to you about 80% pay in the 30. I would have turned around and said the remaining amount pay in the 15. Have you ever had any go past 45? Yes. Every once in a while, some go. Has that negatively affected you? No, not really. I mean, I don't like it, but it's only happened a few times, and only one person's ever not paid me in my 10 years. So now you don't like the answers, but you've only had to ask questions, let me do all the talking, right? But you do all the talking, and you try to spoon feed me, telling me what you want to hear. Flip all of that into questions, right? When you go back and listen to this watch, you keep telling me all of these stories, right? About, well, think about this, and here, envision this, and envision that. What if you had flipped it and said, Keenan, do you think your current process is scalable as you grow? You might say, what are your growth strategies? Because I talked about earlier. My growth strategies, I want to get to 5 million by X, 10 million by X. I'm making up numbers, right? So when do you want to get to X? When do you want to get to 5 million? I want to get to 5 million in 2 years. I'll make shit up, right? Great. Do you think your current process for managing invoices and all that stuff, right, is scalable? I was like, that's a good point. I'm not really sure, right? So then if I say I'm not really sure, then you say, okay, well, what do you think the concerns are from that? Where do you think you'll mess up, right? And then you might say, okay, like how many invoices do you get today? I'd say, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 a month. What happens when you get 150 a month, right? You just keep asking me questions about what I think, where I'm going, not questions of self-diagnose per se, like, it's like, but kind of when you say, how many do you get 100? Do you think you can handle 100? Okay, that's self-diagnosis, but and it's tired. It's a little different, but you just keep take me along on the journey by asking me questions rather than spoon feeding me every time. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that changes the ball game because now I'm in my head thinking rather than you just keep telling me, all right, what you tell me, I'll go with it. It doesn't allow you to get to stuff that you're not thinking about, right? And here's the other key piece. When you ask questions like that, you get my perception. When you tell me that's your perception, I may agree or I may not agree, right? But you want my perception. I don't want you.
Yeah. I'm trying to convince you, wouldn't this be the way, rather than say, how do you think that way would look?
Yeah, like what would happen if, right?
Yeah.
Have you considered, these are provoking questions, have you considered what would happen after 100, 200, right? And you can say things like, my guess is that would be a problem, but I don't know. And then get me talking, get me envisioning the shit show that's gonna come. Get me thinking for myself, right? The way you're doing it now is you're like a millennial parent. Hey, let me show you how to walk. Let me show you how to build a sandcastle. Let me show you. No, flip it.
Do you have an experience of working with businesses that have scaled? What has the accounting process been like there? And can you give me a sense of what you thought were the gaps?
Well, you mean now are you out of
like this?
Now you're asking me with my customers?
Yeah, like this kind of thing.
I wouldn't have visibility, but no, the question I wouldn't even go see other companies. I would stay with me. I'd stay where I am. You're saying another customer actually has this problem. I'd really, really just walk them through, the current challenges they have today around the pain. Like you started there, but say, hey, what is your average DSO? How often have you been late on payments? Has that affected you? Like diagnose. All right? That's my recommendation.
Yep. And then quantify that pain.
Yes.
Try to get as specific as possible. What is that worth? What does that mean? Does that
Never
mean you
ask
have
them what
less
it's
working
worth.
capital?
You don't have to ask them what it's worth. You'll be able to do that. Right? You'll be able to I don't want to say this. You'll be able to know what it's worth just by simply asking them the questions. Right? How much do you got go through? How much do you have going through invoices on a monthly basis? Right? How much cash flow, like it's personal, but I'd still ask it. How much cash flow buffer do you have? If you ever have to dip into a business line of credit, if you had visibility into this earlier, would that be able to prevent you from stepping into your line of credit? Is there a negative to going into your line of credit? Do you want to be able to manage your cash flow better? Tell me how you manage your cash flow now. Like those seem to me to be the business problems you're addressing, cash flow management and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So ask cash flow management questions, right? The minute I told you I didn't have a cash flow issue, it's going to be hard for you to really sell me.
True.
Is that fair? Right? It seems to me the big business benefit to your product is cash flow management. Is that fair?
Yep.
Right? So I don't really care 1 week if I miss a fucking invoice, right? Like, I don't care. We got plenty of cash. Things are going great. So what if I can't pay someone right away, right? Never, ever, ever do we have an issue where cash flow and what we owe are all of a sudden a problem at the end of the month. Maybe the quarter, I can look at the quarter and like, oh shit, we better sell some more stuff. But as long as we sell stuff, I don't have that kind of problem.
Right. Any more advice about like talking to somebody that today that problem is small, but seeing how it's going to grow? Like when you go 10x, this is going to be major and it's going to be much harder to.
Yeah, so I would do it like I did before, right? So I'd ask them questions. Okay, how many are you doing today, right? Has that been growing consistently? Was it 23 or 50 last year? Or is it more than that? Okay, so you're growing at 50%. So if at this rate, you expect 100 next year or 500 next year, right? Or month, right? If you have that many, do you believe your current structure is going to work? Then I'd go into the problems. Because of this, this is your expertise now. Have you missed a payment, right? Have you had something happen because you didn't see this coming? Were you unable to make payroll because you paid the wrong people at the wrong time? Did you have to pay a fee? Did something go off? Did a shipment not make it? Did inventory not arrive? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you start getting them to think about the negative impacts of having missed that. And then when you get them on that, say, okay, well, if this grows, is there a risk that could happen again and happen more frequently? So now what you're selling them is, I can't afford to have that shipment of widgets not show up because I fucked this up. I can't afford to miss payroll because I fucked this up. I can't afford, you see what I'm saying? So because I can't afford any of that, I better buy what you're selling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you've got to turn everything into a question. Anything where I have the instinct to say, well, wouldn't this happen? I need to ask, what would happen?
Yes. Well, no. Yes, what would happen? But you gotta notice what I'm doing. I'm not asking what would happen. I'm walking them through the how many do you have now? How many do you have in the future? What's been the impact? Like, not even what's been the impact. Have you, like, I'll know who I'm talking about. If I'm talking to a manufacturer, I would say, have you ever had inventory impacted by this? Have you not been able to get the parts you needed because of this? Like, I want to understand the business, and depending on the business, I'm going to see where it could impact. I'm going to ask specific questions to that business. Am I making sense? If I'm talking to a retailer, I might say, have you ever had a shipment been delayed because you didn't get the payment out, and therefore you weren't able to get it on the shelves by XYZ time or in inventory over Christmas, and so you missed a week of Christmas because you couldn't sell the shit. Like, I don't know, but you see where I'm going? I'm gonna ask those questions. I'm not just gonna jump from, what would be the impact if that didn't happen? I gotta fucking think who I'm talking to and what type of business they're in and how this could affect their personal own business.
Got it.
Did that help?
Yeah, totally.
All right. That's my recommendation to you.
All right. So was this? I appreciate you doing it. I hope you got something out of it. And in 10 years, I will call you, or maybe in 7, 6. I gotta anticipate it. Sounds good.
All right, baby. Thank you very, very much, my man. To the rest of you, if you think you can gap sell me, I will buy what you're selling if I need it, but don't show up and throw up. All right, people, if you want to try to gap sell Keenan, do me a favor, hit me up on LinkedIn, DM me, we'll get you on the schedule. Dimitri, man, I loved your passion, loved your articulation. You're definitely a brilliant guy. Just learn to stop telling and start asking, and it's going to change everything.
That's why I'm here. Go Pats.
Go Pats. Go Pats. There they are. There they are. Oops. Oh, breaking shit. Look at that. Breaking everything. Oh my God. But yes. See, that's the Pats season right there. That's the Pats season. So,
right.
All right, my man. You have a good one. Have a great holiday. Thank you very
Enjoy
much.
the snow out there.
Yes, I will.
See you on the slopes. Cheers.
Till next time, people. Peace. I'm out.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something.